right. So what's up? It's Douglas James. I'm sitting here with Ashton Wilson. Ashton, happy to have you on this video, man. And congrats to all your success. We just confirmed basically, all your success going on in the academy and in the program you've been in for some time. And I really just wanted to get you on video, man, and just have a conversation to learn a little bit more about what you have going on. So welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's get started with this. Just to get the elephant out the room, what are you right now in your agency? Like, what type of clients are you working with? And then, like, what are you guys doing per month now?
Yeah, so I am specifically working with gym owners only. And we are doing, so last month we did about 10,900.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. And so all gym owners, so basically you sign up for a membership, you get access to the gym, or is it personal training, or is it like what kind of gyms exactly?
Yeah, so we structured it in a way where right now we work with gym owners and personal training studios. And we structured it in a way to where our entire model works best if they do group training. And the reason why is because the profit margins are better for the gym owner. So for example, if you sign up multiple people, like they sign up 10 people in a week for a group training package, they pay one trainer to train 10 people that are paying for that hour, as opposed to one-on-one training. And it's just more scalable for them. They get more out of it.
That's awesome, man. So I'm just listening to you talking, man. You're like a young guy. Like how old are you?
I'm 26.
26 years old, yeah. And you're making almost 11 grand a month. So you're working with these gym owners now in a group session. So roughly how long ago did you sign up with us?
I signed up mid-July of last year. So July of 2022.
Nice. Oh, man. So that's a pretty short, considerably, on a time frame, that's actually a really short time frame for you to be hitting those numbers.
Yeah. And it feels like a lot longer just because of how much work I've put into it. But yeah, it's been pretty quick, faster than I thought it was going to go.
That's cool. So 26, what were you doing before you got into basically digital real estate and this online marketing stuff that we do?
Yeah. So I was working in a hospital in Chicago, actually, and I was a cardiac physiologist. So I have my master's degree and I was kind of working alongside doctors in cardiology, and I just didn't like where I was. So obviously I had ads popping up every 2 seconds of affiliate marketing, drop shipping, starting a marketing agency. And I bought a couple courses and I enrolled into this one. I saw one of your ads and this was the one that gave me the biggest foundation of like everything in that course is pretty much laid out from point A to point Z. There's enough information to where you can make something happen if you only followed that course. You didn't watch any YouTube videos or weren't resourceful. You could go through your course and make something happen. So, but that's what I was doing before.
That's awesome. You were in a field, I think, I don't know about you, but growing up, like my parents, right? They were like, you got to be a doctor, or you got to do something like that, go to school, get your doctorate, basically go to school for 12 years, get your residency and like not make any money and go into debt for so long. And that's a great path that a lot of people go, but you don't have to be a doctor or a pilot or a lawyer to make good money, right?
Yeah.
Typically like working from like you said, like you're working for someone else and then you're in the emergency room, like crazy hours all night. Right. So I think it's really cool to see people like you that, kind of like went against the conventional system, and you actually made it. You don't have to go get that degree that, there's definitely things that you can do. So you were 26 years old. You said you did get your master's, right?
Yeah, I have my master's degree.
That's incredible. And
thank you.
And you had obviously no background in marketing or anything like that. You were working in the emergency.
Zero. Yeah, zero. No marketing whatsoever.
That's something, man. That's something. And where are you located right now in the country?
I'm in Chicago, Illinois, but I'm actually moving in a month to Las Vegas.
Okay, cool. Las Vegas is cool. Don't get too much trouble out there. Try to stay in Henderson if you can.
Yeah. I'll stay away from the strip for sure. I don't need to gamble everything away.
Yeah, for sure. But what right now, do you have are you married, girlfriend, kids, or any of that?
Girlfriend. Yeah.
Girlfriend. Okay, cool. What does she think about all this? Was she a part? Were you guys together when you first signed up, or how was she involved in the decision making?
Great question. Yeah. So we were. She was actually in nursing school at the time, and I was working in the hospital. My whole family's in the nursing field. My mom's a nurse, my dad's a nurse, all my aunts are nurses. So it's just kind of like medical field is what my family does. She was in nursing school at the time, and then I started getting into this course. Also spiraled me down into a loop of personal development. So that's kind of what it led to. And in the beginning of the course, like in your mindset portion of the course, you kind of go through that a lot. And personal development is a large portion of being able to be successful, especially when you're trying to do something that's a little bit different than what most people do. So I was just kind of indulging myself into personal development and making this work and kind of changing just the way that I think, like my own thought patterns. And that kind of, I started like pressing that onto her as well. It was kind of, she was feeding off of that. So once I made the transition and I quit my job at the hospital when I matched what I was making at the hospital with this. And she did the same thing. So she dropped out of nursing school, and we both started getting into the sales and marketing space. And there was actually a brief point whenever I stopped working at the hospital, I realized that I had a small bottleneck in the marketing agency, and it was sales. Like my closing rate was really low. And I was like, man, there's something I'm missing here. So I actually went and got a sales job as a closer. I kind of just like took my resume and restructured it in a way where it was catered to sales, because every job can be sales really if you really try to make it that way. Got a job as a closer, worked as a closer for about 2 months, and then ended up getting really, really good at it. So and that was just the amount of work that I put into it. I wasn't just trying to get a paycheck. My goal was to get as good as possible at this as fast as I possibly can. So worked for 2 months, hit some records. I had the most sales in one day, the most closes in one day. And then I quit after 2 months, and my closing rate for the agency went up. So, and she started doing the same thing about the same time that I quit. So she dropped out and she got in like a appointment setting position. And yeah, we've both just been going hard. It just changed everything that we stood for before, everything we went to school for. We just switched it all up and kind of just put it all into this market.
That's amazing, man. And look, I mean, here's the deal, which I'm sure you can agree. I mean, as an entrepreneur, like sometimes you just got to figure it out. You got to pivot. You got to know and make moves that you didn't typically think you had to in the beginning, right? Because this is definitely uncharted territory, right? And I think most people, they get caught up with uncertainty. Like we all want certainty. Like if we could have a crystal ball to know exactly what's coming at any given moment, that's in a Hollywood movie, right? That doesn't exist in the real world where you and I live, right? So getting comfortable with uncertainty is one of the most important things that you can do. And in those moments when you said, hey, I need to get better at closing sales, like I'm generating leads, I'm generating opportunity, I know how to do marketing, I know how to do fulfillment, I have all these tools and resources. I just need to get my reps in so that I can get good at this skill so I can collect cash, right? You went and you thought outside the box, you made a pivot that was best for you, which isn't best for everyone, but it was best for you. And you went and basically got a job where you can get your reps in with sales. And then boom, now your agency is blowing up. Yeah, I think that's amazing. The one thing that I always preach to our students in the program too is like, if you're not conversating with business owners or getting your reps in, like you can be the best marketer in the world. You can have the coolest funnel, right? You can have the coolest design ads, but if you're not actually talking to people that are interested in buying that stuff, like you're never going to sell, right? So I commend you for doing that, because that's what it takes. You got to get your reps, just like riding a bike or driving the car for the first time, or when you went to get your master's degree. I mean, how many reps did you have to go through to get through school? And how many tests and how many things did you have to learn, right? It's just like any new skill. So yeah, I just love hearing that.
Yeah, I think a big part of it too was just my own perceived likelihood of achievement, like how much I thought it was possible to actually make this work. And that's what made me really go out there and try to do whatever it takes to make it happen. It was kind of because if you don't actually think it's possible, like if you have all of these resources and nothing's working and your own confidence starts to decrease, like in the process overall, you're going to stop trying because you don't think. Your likelihood of achievement in your own brain starts to decrease. So I feel like you just stop trying because you don't think it's possible. But the more that you kind of reaffirm and show yourself that you're getting a little bit closer and you're making progress, you start to believe it more. And obviously you're going to do what it takes to get there. So like after I landed my first client, I was like, okay, I landed one and I sent, 5,000 emails, and it took me 5,000 emails to get one. All right. Yeah. So if I sent another 5,000, I could probably get another. But I saw that I got this many appointments, and then I was able to see my own bottleneck, and it was kind of like, okay, I know it's possible. Now I just need to, strengthen my skill sets in these areas and continue to grow so that I can maximize the volume that I have coming in. Because if I'm getting 10 appointments and, or 10 people are showing up and I'm only closing one, like there's an issue there. And it was obvious.
Yeah, dude, there's two things that you said there that I really want to highlight that I think is really important. The first one is like knowing your numbers, right? You said
Mhm.
every 5,000 emails I send, I will get one client. Cool. Well, just keep doing that over and over again. You'll be good, right?
Yeah.
And then you identified, I need to get better at selling, right? So you tackle that issue, right? And the big thing that I do want to highlight is the moment you found belief. Yeah. So what I learned from my mentor, Dr. Jeff Spencer, he talks about there's always a time for preparation and performance. A lot of people when they get into a skill set or a job or a new business or whatever, they just want to go straight to performance. Well, no, you half of it's preparing. Like you have to know what you're doing before. Like if you take on a new job, I was in the military for 10 years, right? And I'm sure, in the hospital they have SOPs, standard operating procedures, right?
Mhm.
Big manuals you have to go through. That's basically like, how to conduct any procedure that you need to, right? So part of like starting a new job is you have to go through training. So there's a preparation phase before you can actually start to execute and perform. The point that I want to highlight in the performance phase is there's a daily grind that has to take place
Mhm.
before you turn it into a belief system. Like as soon as you landed that first client, that's when you establish belief. But you didn't have the belief yet when you were grinding every day, sending out your emails, talking to business owners, taking calls. You didn't have that yet. But the moment that you get that, man, it changes the game because you're like, this can work. Like I landed this client, he paid me this money, then boom. Once you establish that belief system, that's like literally all you need, dude. I resonate with that so much because when I landed, my first client was a transportation company, right? And basically the
Mhm.
deal I landed with them, I worked with them for 6 weeks and we worked out a deal where I got 25% of their gross profit, which I think it
Okay.
was a check for around 5 grand or so. That was my first client. So when I got
That's
that check
awesome.
in my hand, thank you. Yeah. So when I got that check in my hand, I was like, this is it. I just need to duplicate this process over and over again. I remember taking my girlfriend out at the time. We, went and had drinks, we had dinner, lived it up, man. And I went the next day, I went right back at it. I went and landed 3 clients after that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude.
That's huge. That's
Mm.
awesome. And a lot of people don't like hearing this. Like there's a lot of people in industry marketing academy that I actually talk to, and I help out. I'm talking to a lot of people in DMs, and a lot of people don't like hearing this. But I always tell people, I'm like, this is just what I did. You don't have to do it. But my first 5 clients, or actually my first 3 clients, I worked for free, and then the next 2 clients were significantly discounted, and it was just those first 3 clients. I mean, if you tell them you're going to work for free, obviously it's going to be hard for them to say no. And those 3 clients were how I learned everything, because when you have somebody else relying on you, it makes you want to perform better. So that's when I really got resourceful, and I was, finding gurus on YouTube, like seeing how I could, run the best possible ad, get them the best possible results. So it was when somebody else was relying on me, instead of just me relying on myself, I worked harder. So those first 3 free clients is how I got so good at doing what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's huge. Not a lot of people don't want to not make money in the beginning, but that's how you're going to create longevity out of it. I think a lot
Yeah.
of times.
You have to generate value first. If you're coming in with no skin in the game, you can't expect to make anything. And like my friend Joe Polish wrote a book called What's in It for Them. It always has to be what's in it for them in everything that you do, in
Mm-hmm.
life and in business and anything. I always, in any opportunity or any business or any client that I'm working with, I know at the end of the day that I'm trying to take care of my family, make money. Like those things are really important. But if you're approaching all your business deals with that mindset, the other person's not going to feel like they're truly taken care of. You're just in it for the cash. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to be in it for their end result. You have to be in it for their benefit. So I approach all my deals like that. Zig Ziglar made a quote, if you can help other people get what they want, you can have all you want in life. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. And sometimes when you're starting a new deal or a new business, yeah, it's completely okay to like work with a client on a performance base. Basically, kind of, you can call it kind of for free, but if you can do something like you did or like what I did, where it's a performance model where you make 20 or 30% of their gross profit, like you run the traffic, they pay for the ads,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a nice check. There's nothing wrong with doing it like that.
Yep.
The model, my favorite model has always been, the pay per lead model. Like, hey, Mr. Chiropractor, Mr. Dentist, I'll give you 100 leads a month at $50 a pop. That's an easy $5,000 contract. But starting out, that might be difficult to achieve. But there's people that do it all the time.
Hmm.
but sometimes what maybe works better for your process is to, quote unquote, maybe work for free for the first client. There's nothing wrong with that. So you did what you got to do, and look at you now. Like, you're making almost basically 11 grand a month, so that's what you got to do sometimes. So it's all worth it in the end. You got to have a long-term tire preference, right?
Yeah.
As another key thing. And I can go on tangents, dude. There's like so many different, I've been doing this for so long, and I've worked with so many clients and students and stuff, and like I already know why people fail and quit.
Hmm.
It's just like I can see it, and if you can get past these roadblocks, and what the thing is you don't know what you don't know is the problem, and it's not your fault. But if you continue to not be receptive to new information and letting things that you don't know harm you, and if you get discouraged by them and you quit, that is your fault. You have to stay in the game long enough to get skin in the game, so
Yeah, absolutely. I think limiting beliefs are a huge roadblock for a lot of people. I think you can get this spark of motivation and try something different, and then once you get one thing goes wrong, it's really easy for them to back out and go to what's safe, to what they're comfortable with. And it's just because a lot of it's just limiting beliefs. It's like how people inherently think, and that just takes course over your life, the last however long, 20, 30 years that you're alive, and what's been kind of programmed into your head. But there are some beliefs that you have to break and get past to be able to continue and to get that first client, I think.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Right, brother. Well, hey, I do want to respect your time, man. This has been an awesome conversation. Really appreciate you. Congrats on all your success. I think the last thing I'll just ask you, well, you know what? There's actually a couple more things I want to ask you. This is really important because I think this is missed in a lot of these, not in all these conversations, but I think what's really important to highlight is, you made money, right? And it's outside the medical profession that you were working in. Like, what has that allowed you to do now? You and your girlfriend, like, from a lifestyle perspective, what kind of opportunities is that giving you now?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing is that we're moving, and we've been talking about moving to Las Vegas since we've been together for the last 4 years. That's like always where we wanted to go. And now we're in the place where we can comfortably do that. And we definitely have location freedom. I can go wherever I want. And like, I wouldn't say like we're not to the point of like pure financial freedom yet, but I can go wherever I want. I mean, we can afford to travel and pay for stays and rental cars and stuff like that. And I can just, prop open my laptop and make sure that everybody's ads are set up, running correctly, take a couple Zoom calls, and I'm good to go. So it's location freedom from the last 6 months of work that I put into this, location freedom is huge.
Amazing, man. And just where do you guys see yourself going here in the next 2 to 5 years with your agency now?
My big goal is 100K per month. That's what I want to get to. And I have the plans in place, and we have the system. I mean, we have our paid ads are dialed in now. Like, we're getting really good cost per lead, cost per booked appointment. Our funnel is built out. So really all we have to do at this point is just spend more to make more. And once we make this move, we're going to get access to some more business credit, put it into paid ads, probably hire an appointment setter, a couple VAs, and make sure that we can continue to keep rolling in the right direction. So we have a plan set in place, but 100K per month is going to be that goal, is the next goal.
Amazing, man. That's a great goal. It feels really good when you hit it too.
Yeah, I bet, man. I feel like nothing's going to be better than that first 10K though. That's like when you really, because everybody's first goal is 10K. They're like 10K per month. That's what I want to make. And when you hit that, it's like you really create the confidence in yourself that you can just keep moving forward once you've hit that point.
Yeah, I can tell you the first client, the first 10K, and then the next, and then 100K is like, it's like, holy shit. I used to, when I was a kid, I was like, I thought I had to make 100 grand a year to be like financially set. But I mean, in today's economy, man, with everything going on, like, you got to aim higher, right? So to hit that in a month, like, you're going to be really good to go. So I hope you achieve everything you want in life, brother. If there's anything I can do, you please let me know. My last question for you is, obviously there might be some folks that are considering working with us at some capacity. What's your honest feedback? Would you recommend working with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the foundation within the course is really all that you need. Like I said before, if you go through just the course and you had no additional resources, let's just say hypothetically you didn't have access to YouTube or anything else, and you just went through the course, you could get from 0 to 10K pretty quickly just by following anything in there. It has enough about copywriting, it has enough about running ads, creating your funnel, go high level, all of that. You have enough to start a low budget agency from start to finish. Now, if you're resourceful, it's going to move a lot quicker. If you make the right decisions along the way, it's going to move a lot quicker. The best foundation that I went through, I mean, I've taken like 3 or 4 different courses, and I think foundational wise, like that is all you need to get the information that you need to get from point A to point Z.
Ashton, you're the real VIP, man. Appreciate you so much, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for jumping on. And again, if there's anything that I can do for you, you know how to reach out. We're here, we're around, and look forward to your future success, bro.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this call too.
Absolutely, man. All right, you take it easy. We'll be in touch.
Yep, you too.
All right.
See ya.